innovation and having newer technologies and so forth. I understand that Bernie Sanders in Vermont is, with perhaps the encouragement of the governor, or maybe it's vice versa, of Vermont, looking into the possibility of opening up a branch of Sandia up in Vermont, but that it would be focused more on renewable energy and other types of modern technology rather than on nuclear weapons and so forth. Are you familiar with that? And if it begins to take shape, would you be interested in somehow shepherding that, or what is your opinion on that?
No, I don't want Bernie Sanders taking anything having to do with Sandia away from us.
Well,
and I like Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
You don't get me wrong. And so that
Right.
you know, I was the first elected official in the state of New Mexico to endorse Howard Dean for president.
Right.
And God bless Vermont.
I guess the other part of my question, which I left out, was you're right, that this would not help New Mexico, obviously, but perhaps a similar project, either at Sandia or Los Alamos in the future. I remember that Congressman Udall, when he was a congressman, talked something about conversion a few years ago, and obviously got a very strong reaction negatively. But
conversion.
well, from as you were talking about a peace initiative, a peace dividend, where you transition from defense type of production to more peacetime use. And so I'm wondering if that were applied, what they're talking about doing in Vermont, if something like that could be done here beyond what is already being done, how would you feel about that?
I think the House of Representatives is different from the U.S. Senate. The House of Representatives is the people's body, and I'm going up there to fight for New Mexico. So I'll say it once again. Look, here's the deal with Albuquerque, and I hope you could sense this as one of my guiding principles and values as mayor. Sandia National Laboratories is a tremendous resource. Intel is a tremendous resource. University of New Mexico. We have the second highest number of PhDs per capita of any city in America. Now, when Jeff Bingaman retires, we're sending the most junior delegation, next year regardless of what happens in this election, it's the most junior delegation since statehood. My passion is around energy independence, the types of jobs that I think our kids deserve, and I want to focus very heavily on that. So that's why Sandia Science and Technology Park is there, is to take technologies that are developed on the base, convert them into wealth-creating companies and opportunities on the other side of the gate of the base. The last 6 months of my term, we signed a joint agreement between UNM, Sandia, and the city of Albuquerque to form a research triangle, if you will. Again, to look at these nascent technologies that they're doing marvelous things with and bring them here. Now, part of what I think our delegation has to do and is responsible for is guiding funding around Sandia, but toward those types of things that create good jobs, that require analytical thinking and extraordinary degrees. Here's one. How about a goal for our public schools? Graduate students that don't need remediation. How many? Do we have any teachers here this evening? I think last I checked, we're about 40% of the kids. Maybe that's a little high. That are graduating from APS need remediation. Going into college. I mean, that's outrageous. That's us failing our kids. I started a charter school. And charter schools, man, the jury's still out. Some of them are doing well, some aren't doing so well. But the one I started, Albuquerque Institute of Math and Science at UNM, 3 years now, has graduated 3 classes. Every single student has gone to the university. It can be done. And these are public schools. It can be done.